Maina, you are a strategy consultant, founder of Tempoyo Consultant Group, and expert in strategy purpose. Thank you for taking the time to be with us. Can you share how it all started?
It all started with a double intuition about myself, and that intuition emerged from solving a math problem. In essence, I was sitting in class, I was 16, and the teacher gave us a math problem to solve. Essentially, it was an economic problem we had to frame into an equation system to solve and then to represent in geometry. By all count, it was unusual at that time. We got no instruction, but we got 10 minutes. And that's really the difference those 10 minutes made into my life, because not only did I solve that problem in a way that really felt natural to me, it really spoke to me, but that's really where I had that life intuition that I wanted to become a master in business engineering. And this is really a difference that those 10 minutes have made for me, because I started solving a problem and I ended up with that very natural state of knowing, like unlocking a universal truth about myself, about who I would want to become, and the course of study I would want to embrace.
Okay, so you were 16 by the time the intuition hit you. Without being rude, seeing I'm quite curious, that was how long ago?
It was 30 years ago.
Oh, so that intuition has been guiding you all this time. How do you feel about that today? And what has been your journey since then?
I will forever be grateful to my younger self for having followed his intuition, because it gave me a vision, it gave me a life trajectory, but it also gave me something to hold on to in both moments of momentum and at times of challenges. And my journey since then it has been following my studies. It has been a 2 decades journey across business and academics that would progressively lead me toward the strategic purpose I have today as a strategic consultant. And the best way to describe it would be to take 4 years of my personal timeline: 2000, 2008, 2013, and 2021. In 2000, I'm very happy. The way I would describe myself at that time is that I was passionately formatted for shareholder value maximization. So as I said, two things make me happy in 2000. I do graduate as a master in business engineering, but more importantly, I really have the feeling that those studies, which I really loved, were only but a very strong confirmation of the initial life intuition that I had about the course of study that would fit me. And the second thing that makes me happy is that, having developed a very strong passion for strategy early in my studies, I actually about to start my career in strategic planning in large multinational companies. And I was so passionate that I would year after year look for the ranking of the most valuable companies, looking to see whether GE would cross or hit the ceiling of the 500 billion market cap. And basically that was really the mindset I was driven by at that time, literally asking myself how I would help my employer maximize shareholder value. Fast forward 2008, I'm now moved and I'm a strategy management consultant, and this is the year of the wake-up call. And it was really the first shift I was confronted with on my journey, because at that time I was advising a leading financial institution precisely in the area of strategic planning, and the framework I was actually advising them was a framework that would allow them to strategically plan throughout the organization in a way that would help them maximize shareholder value. But at that time, we are in the midst of the financial crisis, and the first shift I had is that I realized that market cap and shareholder value was supposed to be a means to an end and not an end in itself. And that has been the first shift in my purpose journey. Fast forward 2013, I had the great privilege to be admitted and start my executive MBA at London Business School. And following the orientation week focused on leadership and general management, one of the very first classes we had was corporate social responsibility. And frankly speaking, at that time, my awareness about CSR was basically virtually close to zero. But through engaging with my, with my fellow students in studying the course, I actually emerged with a very strong conviction that actually CSR was not enough, and that we had to move from corporate social responsibility to corporate societal and strategic responsibility. So that was the second shift in my journey, because then I really realized that there was a major opportunity for business to intertwine and to really embed both the societal aspect of the conduct of business and the strategic dimension of the firm. And then fast forward 2021, when I decided to start my strategic practice as an independent strategic consultant. This is really where all my ideas about purpose and strategic purpose crystallized, and basically I thought about what I would stand for, and it was very obvious to me that strategic purpose was the way to go.
And how would you describe the strategic purpose?
My strategic purpose is helping firms realize their own through bold strategies that allows them to transform, to rise as driving force of the world, and ultimately to shape the legacy they want for the world and society at large. And how does that translate concretely? Is that I help CEOs and C-suite executives define their strategic purpose, and then in a second time, align and articulate their strategy, their business model, and their strategic planning around it.
Okay, well, Maina, thank you very much for sharing your personal story. I trust this will inspire not only CEOs but all business leaders and managers. Maybe one last personal advice you would like to share from your experience?
I would say, when it comes to define who you are and who you aspire to be, follow your intuition. And when it comes to define the firm you aspire to lead, follow its strategic purpose.